All right, good morning, guys. What's going on? It is 4:38 in the morning. I got to get back to these early videos. I've been slacking the last couple months, but I wanted to give you an update on Mullen and the news that they put out yesterday. And yes, they are NASDAQ compliant. Shocker, right? We all knew this was going to happen, especially after a 1-for-100 reverse stock split. When they did the split, if you're new to Mullen and if you haven't been a part of this for the last year or so, whoops, I can't pull it up. Let's see. They've done 3 reverse stock splits in 2023. 3 reverse stock splits in 2023. Absolutely insane. Right now, we're trading at $6.75 as I'm making this video. But the crazy thing is, of course, we're going to be NASDAQ compliant. Like when we split at like 14 cents, which made it $14. So they needed to trade above $1 for 20 consecutive trading days. Very easy to do, I believe, when you split all the way to 14 bucks, right? So the question is, where's it going now? Because yesterday it hit a new all-time low. We broke that last level of support I've been talking about at $7. But let's get into the news. All I ask is that you drop a like, you subscribe, and of course, don't forget to grab your coffee. Here's mine. And another thing is, I gave you guys an update on Brad yesterday, so hopefully you saw that video. If you haven't, go watch that. I literally show you exactly how much Mullen has been paid from Randy Marion, how many vehicles have actually, well, they all sold, but how many vehicles they've collected money on so far. So make sure you check that video out. It's a short video. I posted it yesterday. You can see here, Mullen will continue to be listed and traded on the NASDAQ capital markets. This was posted yesterday, January 24th. Today's the 25th. And you can see it's an emerging electric vehicle EV manufacturer announces today that it has received formal notice from the NASDAQ Stock Market, LLC, confirming the company has regained compliance with the minimum bid price requirement set forth in NASDAQ listing rules. So they received formal notice from the NASDAQ. So it's official. I know some people are saying, well, I want NASDAQ to say it, but if they're going to put this in some actual news, then it's real. They are NASDAQ compliant. They will be trading on the NASDAQ, I believe, for at least the next 2 years. I think that is the rule. And they can't do any more reverse stock splits for at least 2 years. So where do we go from here? I mean, Tesla's tanking. The EV market, Lucid doesn't look good. Where's Mullen going? Now, I do have areas where I think Mullen can move next, and it's actually lower based off of Fibonacci, so maybe I'll share that with you all at the end of this video. As previously disclosed, the NASDAQ hearings panel has also granted the company until March 8, 2024 to demonstrate compliance with the annual shareholder meeting requirement set forth in NASDAQ listing rule. Mullen has scheduled an annual meeting of stockholders to be held on February 29, 2024. So that's in about a month. So what's going to happen up until that date? And I did get an email yesterday asking me to vote. So you guys should also get that email from your broker asking you to vote for everything about this meeting. There's like 4 topics. I looked at it and then I got busy, but let me know what you think about that down below. What do you think about this meeting? What do you think about this whole thing? Like, where do you think Mullen is going? Because right now we're trading at $6.65. We're trading below the old all-time low of $7, which I said that is the last leg of support. And it just didn't look good to me. Mullen did not look good. It hasn't been looking good. We're in a downtrend. But let me show you some areas that I'm looking at. If I were to buy back in, I don't even know if I will, because really my mentality right now is if I want to get back into Mullen, first of all, it's just a trade. It's not a long-term hold as of right now. Some indicators that would tell me it's a long-term hold, excuse me, would be the board buying some shares. Some of the board members own 1 share of Mullen. 1 share. So they got to be buying some shares. I need to see that, right? I also would like to see the buyback of the company, the $25 million that they said they were going to buy back, and they only bought like $6 million. Okay, I want to see that in paperwork, like, hey, we're actually extending this, because that was just BS. They never extended it. and then it expired after December 29th. So those two things would be big for me to think, okay, I can hold this long term. Until that happens, though, this is just a trade. Mullen will move higher, I believe, because that's how all stocks, like, they crash and then they move higher. So you could catch these little runs. But as of right now, like today, I'm not buying anymore. We haven't hit certain levels that I would be looking for if I was looking just to enter a trade into this thing. Now, I wish I could hold Mullen long term, but those two things I just brought up are huge indicators that are big red flags, thinking, why are insiders not buying their own stock? Why do some insiders only own one share? It doesn't make any sense, right? Unless this was all planned, and maybe in the future they will be buying, but I got to see that. Okay, so not sure if you can see these yellow lines right here, but this is just a rough draft of what I've been looking at this morning. $5.67, $3.32, and a worst case scenario of 17 cents, right? You can see right here. Now, I think that would take a lot of time if Mullen ever crashed that low, which would be absolutely insane. And then obviously I think a lot of people are on the fence right now that is Mullen actually a scam, or will this thing actually be a legit company? Is it a legit company? And I think it's kind of important to think about, like, if it really does break down to certain areas and certain prices, like 567 isn't that concerning. It is concerning, but $5.67 is just an area based off Fibonacci that we can go to next. Okay, now that we've broken an all-time low of $7. So that's something you want to be aware of. But if this thing starts breaking down like to $3.32, which is another level that I'm looking at, or if it even breaks $5.67, like, then I would start to be concerned that this is just going to follow this trend, this downtrend that we've been in forever. Yes, Mullen has some runs, and that's why I've been saying this could be a trade. Not yet, for me at least, but soon it could be a trading opportunity where you could buy and maybe get a solid return on that trade, right? But what about all the long-term investors? What about the people that have been investing in this stock since like 2022? And you got to bring your average down. And it just sucks what David has put everyone through, what this company has put everyone through, because obviously this is a trend that's been going on, is these pumps and dumps, new all-time lows. It's not a good sign. So for me, I would never enter a long position as of right now into Mullen Automotive. I would need to see insiders buy. I would need to see David buy. He has plenty of money. He gets gifted millions of shares. The dude made so much money this last year and in 2022. So it doesn't look good. David texts the community saying all this positive stuff. Like, he's just a bad guy. And I've said that before. Like, he's a bad person at the end of the day. And if you don't agree with me, then I would start to question you, because, like, look at what has been happening, right? If you have David's back, I would start to question you at the end of the day. But guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Drop a like. Of course, it's not financial advice to tell you to buy or sell any stocks out there. There's so many more opportunities. See you on the next one.